for them because there's 3 different phases within this pre-spawn. You got the pre-spawn, the spawn, and the post-spawn in the springtime of the year, and it's extremely stressful on a bass. I don't care if it's a male bass or a female bass. The rigors of spawning take a lot out of them because number one, they have to hunt for nests. They have to hunt for bedding areas. They have to prepare the beds. They have to actually lay the eggs and fertilize the eggs, and they have to guard the eggs for a long time. Then they have to guard the fry. Doesn't give them much opportunity to feed, so they do a lot of feeding during the pre-spawn, second week of March. And in doing so, they go after big meals. They go after larger shad, gizzard shad, threadfin, big crawdads. They're trying to gain as much protein as they can to build up their energy reserve. So one of the things that you'll notice about the mid part of March is try to start transitioning yourself to your larger lures. You're going to have a lot better success at catching quality fish once that water temperature starts to hit that 50-degree mark. Now, this is depending upon where you're at geographically in the country. It could have happened a few weeks ago. It may be happening right now. It may be 2 or 3 weeks from now. But as soon as that water temperature starts hitting that 50-degree mark, that is when you need to go to like your full-size chatterbaits, your larger swim baits, your larger spinner baits with big blades on it, your full-size jigs with the bigger trailers on them, 3-inch long square bill crankbaits, glide baits, even something like that. They like a bigger meal because these fish, once they make this decision to enter this solid pre-spawn phase of their cycle, that is when they start going after those larger lures. And it's the time to take advantage of that because there's more quality bass that are in less than 10 foot of water in the month of March than there are in early April than there are any other time of the year. Now, the difference is there may be more bass up shallow when those fish are actually spawning, but those fish are not focused on feeding. Right now in the pre-spawn, these fish are feeding up, and it's very rare because, in my opinion, most bass feed at night. So this is one of the few times a year that the bigger, larger female bass will definitely feed, during the daytime. And it only lasts up until that water temperature gets about 60 degrees. So that's the first thing, guys. Go with your larger lures. The next thing that you have to do is you have to concentrate in those areas where those pre-spawn bass are at. Now, this is all relative to how your lake is laid out. If you have a lake that has a lot of grass in it, which a lot of you guys don't, this is a minority of the lakes in the country, but it's still something we got to cover. The best areas in those particular places are like the larger flats adjacent to spawning areas and adjacent to channels. So some of the